inspirational. They can motivate us to do more, to be more, to expand in ways that we never thought was possible. But if those goals are not in alignment with your highest good, they can also lead to condemnation, to stagnation, and make you feel as though you are a failure. It's not acceptable to set goals that are not in alignment with you. So today, we are going to learn how to set reasonable, realistic, and reachable goals. Welcome, everyone. I'm Dr. Marcia Martin, the Heart Healer, and it is my delight to be here with you today. What we're going to look at today is what is a goal? Sometimes we just pick an arbitrary thing out of the world, out of the universe, and wonder why we can't get there. And what do you need to know before you set a goal? What is going to help you get a goal that is appropriate for you? There are 4 questions that you need to ask in every situation. Then we need to know how to keep ourselves on track. If you have no way to keep staying in alignment with where you're going, you're going to wobble all over the place. And finally, who can help? Who in the energetic realm will help us reach our goals? Because life can be complicated and filled with challenges, and there's absolutely no reason to have to do it on your own when we have these magnificent helpers who live to support us in reaching and staying in alignment with our highest good. So, first, let's understand what's a goal? Well, a goal is the object of a person's ambition or effort. This is the dictionary definition. It is an aim or a desired result. So, right there, we know it's got to be desirable to us. It can't be something that we are doing for someone else if we are going to be in alignment with it for our highest good. There are many people that may come into your life and tell you you should have a particular goal. But if that doesn't feel good to you, if that doesn't feel like something that would really bring joy to your heart, then you know perhaps it's an appropriate goal for them, but it wouldn't be for you. So learn first to be discerning, always to check in with your heart. Is this something that feels good to me? Is this something that I would really feel good if I accomplished? Or am I doing it for someone else? So let's get into that. What do you need to know before you choose your goal? So, first of all, you've got a big question to answer, and that is why? Why have I chosen this? There's only one right answer to this question. Now, usually I tell you, oh, you can have so many different ways of answering. But when you are setting a goal that you are going to be able to reach, there's only one right answer. Because often we choose goals for the wrong reasons and then try to tell ourselves that we don't have what it takes to make it. So you might say something to yourself like, yeah, well, I went for that goal, even though you have no alignment with it. I went for that goal and I could barely get started, let alone actually make effort toward it. I'm such a failure. I knew I wouldn't make it anyway. And when you have conversations like that with yourself, you are reinforcing negative behavior and a false sense of self. You're telling yourself something that isn't true And you're trying to pretend that you should align with this. But really, the problem in the first place was that you chose a goal that wasn't for your highest good. So, why do we do this? Well, sometimes there might be peer pressure. You might really want to fit into that group or whatever it is, that cultural or societal way of being that appears to be appealing to you. Or, as I said, you might want particular acceptance from an aspect of society that otherwise might not grant you entrance. Or you're doing it to please someone that you respect or admire or love. This could be a parent who is saying to a child, let's say they're all lawyers in their family, and this child has absolutely no interest in the law or pursuing that as a profession, but they feel obligated because the parent, since birth, has told them they'll be such a wonderful lawyer. And so perhaps they go to law school and then end up flunking out because they really don't have any affinity for that way of thinking or being. And yet they have a wonderful gift in another area. So make sure that your goal actually lines up with something that you want. If people really love you, if they really want to see your best, they're going to be okay if you say to them, I know that you really wanted me to be whatever it is, a lawyer, a doctor, a teacher, whatever it might be. However, I really feel called to whatever it is that you want to do. Perhaps you'd like to do something in a completely different field and you have a great affinity for that. Please follow that. Please follow your heart because you are going to bring to the world something that no one else could have brought when you allow yourself to express you as you. Think about all the magnificent painters and inventors and all of the wonderful ways in which people have moved society forward. And oftentimes it meant that they couldn't go with the current style that was happening in their lifetime. They had to go off the beaten track. Don't be afraid to do that if it's calling to you. But please don't run off the beaten track if it feels really good to go along the track that you see emulated by your family. It's you and your heart, not you and all the noise around you. So your why must be in alignment with your life purpose, your skill set, your interests, and your heart's desire. You cannot eliminate the importance of your heart's desire. The next question that you have to ask yourself is, who are you doing this for? How are you going to feel when you accomplish this goal? If you are doing it for someone else, if you are doing it because mom and dad expected you to, you may have no sense of accomplishment when you finally reach the goal. What you will have is a great sense of emptiness. So, what's the intrinsic value to you? If you cannot self motivate from within because you feel good about it, then you haven't chosen a goal that will be honoring you and your abilities. The other thing you need to ask about the who are you doing this for is, what does this add to your life? Are you going to get something once you accomplish this, are you going to receive a feeling of well being or a feeling of joy or love or accomplishment that you wouldn't otherwise have if you had not chosen this particular goal? Don't be afraid to go after the place where your heart is leading. Instead, be afraid to go after that which is for someone else and doesn't feel good to you. It's okay to do things for other people, but their gifts are not your goals. If you want to gift someone something, do it. But goals are when you choose to achieve, acquire, or accomplish something for you. You may or may not find that what you have chosen holds meaning for someone else. And that's where you're going to have to hold fast to your purpose and your passion. It's okay if they say to you, I don't know why you would want that. Honor yourself, honor your goals. Responding to a fad is not setting a goal. It's being swept away by the tide. And what's going to happen if you respond to a fad instead of to what your burning desire is within your heart is that you're going to quickly find that you don't have the motivation or the staying power to reach that goal. And when we give up on a goal for whatever reason, it really makes us feel like a failure. And it's very difficult then to find the motivation to reach a different goal. So it's better for you to choose goals that you're in alignment with from the beginning than to choose a goal for an arbitrary reason like a fad, give up, and then have to motivate yourself to find another goal. So if you can get it right the first time, you are going to be so far ahead of everyone else who is just in that place where they're not really thinking this is too great. It's got to be personal. If it's going to be a goal that you can hold on to long enough to achieve, and it may even be unique to you. Sometimes there can be a lot of people with the same goal, but it's always got to have some unique value to you. Another question that you want to ask yourself is, do I have the time or the resources that I need to commit to this goal at this particular moment? If you are already overwhelmed by everything that you have going on in your life, and then you choose a goal that is separate from all of these things that you're already trying to juggle, you're really setting yourself up for failure because you don't have the time. Time is a resource, and you may not even have the money in order to move yourself to the goal. We set ourselves up for failure by choosing things that we think someone else wants us to do instead of really doing the deep heart work and finding those things that would be most valuable for us. Every goal you set is going to demand something from you. Please don't set a goal and think, oh, this will be easy. It's hardly going to take anything from me. Recognize that every goal you set has a requirement that, and something is going to be required from you. Always, without exception, time and energy are going to be expected and required in order for you to meet the goal. Money may or may not be part of this, but if you have the goal to reach professional standing in some capacity, you might have to pay for a coach or someone else to help you, some professional to help you reach your goal. And then that would mean money as well. But you can count on the fact that every goal you set is going to require your time and your energy. Let's remember there is no overnight goal unless you're doing something like preparing oats for breakfast. There are no overnight goals. Everything you desire will take a commitment of resources. We already said it will always take time and it will always take energy, and it may take money. If it doesn't feel good to make that commitment, that time and energy commitment, and possibly the money commitment, then you know that you're out of alignment with this goal. Perhaps it's not the right time for this goal. Or you have set a goal that is for someone else. If your highest self is not jumping up and down and saying, okay, this is something we really want to achieve, it's okay to walk away from that goal and take a moment in prayer and meditation to reflect and see which goal you do want to set. Take your time. You're never in a race for setting a goal. And if you are in a race, that's another reason to slow down. If you feel pressured because time is getting away from you too quickly, you are more likely to make a mistake. So if you are feeling, I've got to make a decision immediately, that's your cue that you are not clear and you are not in alignment. So take time out for meditation, for contemplation, for prayer, to really get clear on where you need to be going. The fourth question that you need to ask yourself, is it worth it? Make sure you don't skip out on this one. After you've asked yourself all of the other questions, and let's just go over them really quickly. Why have I chosen this goal as the first one? Who am I doing this for? And then the third one, do I have the resources to commit to this goal? And then finally, is it worth it? This is a really important question to ask yourself. After you have really considered everything else, you still have value. You still have to measure whether this is worth all of that effort. Is it worth pursuing? Are you still feeling in alignment with your goal and with your higher self? Or have you had to talk yourself into making some of the other questions fit? So don't skip out on this last question, because you may have slipped and slid around the others, but boy, if you ask yourself, is this worth it? And you're kind of, I'm not sure. Or you're feeling, gosh, I don't know. Again, take a step back, take the time that you need, and really re examine why you're doing it, and perhaps set a different goal. You might just need to refine the one that you are doing or really get into alignment with it by changing some of the wording or some of the way you're going about it so it truly represents your highest good. But please don't skip this step. Now, if you are clear on your goal and you know that you've set something that is reasonable and realistic and reachable, how are you going to keep yourself on track? Well, the first thing I want you to do is begin with a celebration. There is enough in the world to feel bad about. There is enough in the world to feel sad about. If you have chosen a goal and it passed all of the other tests, those 4 questions were answered and you still feel really good, begin with a celebration. Congratulate yourself. Remind yourself how powerful you are, how wonderful you are, and how impressive it is that you chose a goal that you're going to actually commit to. Start with joy and get that momentum going. Honor this gift that you're giving yourself. Remember our why. It must honor you. And be proud of the fact that you made a choice and that you are committing the time and the resources necessary to meet this goal. Now we want to check for the durability of your goal. Because as I said, there is nothing that's going to happen instantaneously. Everything is going to build up. So the next question you need to ask yourself is, can you make it to the finish line? Is your goal worthy? Let's run it through the test. Is it realistic? Is it reachable? Is it, um, wait a minute, I forgot one. Reasonable, sorry. Is it realistic? Is it reasonable? And is it reachable? That's how you're going to determine if your goal is worthy of you putting in the effort. So, do you desire it enough to put the work in? It could be a goal that you want 50 years from now. Perhaps you're saving for retirement and you're really not that excited about it, but you can set aside a small amount of money. Well, then it actually is something that you can work toward. It might just not be a goal that you put a lot of energy into because it's so far off. So let's look at the subcategory. Do you have the basic skill set that you need in order to reach this goal? This would be me saying that I want to be a pro basketball player. Now, even though you can't see me, I would have to stretch to reach 5'2". So I could tell myself I'm going to spend hour after hour after hour on the basketball court, and I'm going to get myself into really top peak physical condition. And then I'm going to try out to be a pro basketball player. Well, the people that I'm competing against might be 2 feet taller than I am. So it's not very realistic of me to set that goal unless I want to run around the basketball court with a step ladder, because I don't have the physical height necessary to play the game against people who may be 7 feet tall. And so I would not be setting a realistic goal that I could actually reach and feel good about. I can improve my basketball skills, but it's not likely that I want to put all my time and effort and money into becoming a pro basketball player. It's probably a waste of time unless they have the small person's basketball league. You got to make sure. So perhaps I had the passion, but and the purpose. I'm going to do this to show the world that anybody can play basketball. But let's remember that goals are about growth, and growth comes from repeated exposure to something. You're not going to be able to do it once, meet your goal, and walk away. You're going to have to do it again and again and again and again and again until you get better and better and better at it, until you are in a place where you are in alignment instead of in a place where you are resisting. So make sure that you are choosing goals that you align with for both passion and purpose. Now, what about reasonable? Well, you got to want the goal for yourself. If dad is an attorney or a bookkeeper or any other profession that you just don't feel any kind of calling toward, sit down with dad and say, Dad, I love you and I would love to honor your choice, but I don't have any affinity for it. I don't enjoy it and I'm not going to pursue it. dad can get over it, or mom, or whomever. Want the goal for yourself, for your own improvement, and build upon what you already have. Now, you may think, okay, well, I'm really a good athlete, but I don't have the height. I'm going back now to being that basketball player. I can be the best athlete in the room, but if I don't have a crucial component that is required for the game, it's going to be impossible for me to meet that goal successfully. So make sure that you're building upon what you already have or what you can obtain. If it's more knowledge, you can obtain more knowledge, but you would have a very difficult time obtaining that knowledge if you are mentally incapacitated. So make sure that you are considering all of the factors, and don't try to do it all. Go toward that which is calling to you. In other words, you may say to yourself, I want to save the world. That's a really big goal, and it's really not very reachable. However, you can take that gigantic goal and put it down to something that you can do well. Perhaps you like to help people understand more about recycling. And so you start a recycling program where you educate people about how that's going to benefit the planet. That's a beautiful way that you can be of service, reach your goal, and do some good. But if you stay out here where it's so broad and you keep saying things like, I'm going to save the world, you may or may not be effective. Probably not very effective, because you will be scurrying around from thing to thing, trying to find something that you feel is big enough to save the world. So start with something little that you know you can accomplish, that you have a skill set that really would honor what you are trying to do, and go from there. You can always expand as you become more proficient at whatever it is that you're pursuing. You can add on things, but try not to start with a huge burden. Just start with one accomplishable goal and then add on from there. Build upon everything. And that's what makes it reachable. When you build on your strengths and you build on your skills, you have automatically given yourself a great platform to jump, to build upon, to become more. You also want to make sure that it's something that pleases you and has meaning to you. If you are forcing yourself to do something because you feel like you should, put that goal away. Instead, say, what feels really good to me that would be of service? You see how different those two are? I should do this, but I really hate it, don't like it at all. But I really should do this, as opposed to, I have this incredible skill in this particular area. I'm going to offer this service that uses that skill that will help more people. Now you're out of the shoulds and into the I want tos. That's going to give your goal durability. Something that pleases you will be in alignment with your life purpose, and it will bring you joy. Please don't discount having fun along the way. And then, do you have the resources at this time? If you are working a full-time job, if you are taking care of your family, and you have absolutely no time, no energy, and no money that you can set aside to meet this goal, you have chosen an inappropriate goal, and you are causing yourself to feel like a failure when there is absolutely no reason for you to be in that position. So, your resources are really important. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with you revising your goal. Let's say you went through all of these steps and you think you've really chosen well. First thing you're going to do, congratulations to me. Let's have a celebration. I found a goal that I really feel in alignment with. Now, start moving forward. But if you are reaching roadblock after roadblock and you know that you've done this work, something's not quite right. So take a moment to go within and ask your higher self, ask the divine, get into your clearest place, and then see, is this really the goal that is right for me? It might just be off by this little tiny bit. But that difference is the reason why you're running into roadblocks as opposed to having smooth sailing. Now, it doesn't mean that you'll never have a challenge if you've chosen a goal that you're in alignment with. Challenges are just a way for us to grow. So expect that you will be challenged. But roadblock after roadblock after roadblock, now you got to say, is this right for me? Or do I need to adjust to pull back a little? Perhaps I got out ahead of my goal and there's something that I should be doing in the meantime. It's okay to revise and revisit your goals throughout the entire process. You're not going to abandon them unless you find that you've chosen unwisely. You're just going to tailor these goals to meet your unique value. You're the important one. You're the one bringing value to the situation. Just make sure that your value aligns up with where you are going. Because as I said, if I am trying to bring the value of being a professional basketball player, I have not chosen something that lines up with me, with what I am in this lifetime. So even though it could be a lovely dream, it will probably never be more than a dream. And it's not a really great place for me to put my energy. I can't bring enough value to the situation to make it worth it. So, the only reason that you need to abandon your goal is if you have chosen them for the wrong reasons. And the wrong reasons are somebody else decided you should do it, it was a trend or a fad, or your culture or society really was pushing you in that direction. But you'll know it's not right for you if you have no joy, if you have no love, and you have no peace in your heart when you think about this. So you'll have no alignment with your goal or with a desired result, and it will be really tough going. How are you going to keep going in that long winter night when you've set your goal and yet you haven't reached it? You're going to ask for confirmation. You are going to continually ask the divine to support you by showing you that you're going in the right direction, that you've made the right choice, that you are honoring all that you are. And this brings us to the most important part, which is who can help? Who is going to be able to help you get past this time where you've set your goal and it's all the way over here and you've got to work all of this effort to get here? Confirmation will help you, it will keep you motivated. But who are the energetic beings that are going to be able to help you reach this goal with ease? Well, there are two: Archangel Chamuel and Saint Germain. Archangel Chamuel is on the pink ray. His name means he who seeks God. And as you know, he is considered to be pure love in a winged form. What's he going to do to help you reach your goal? He's going to help you release your judgmental attitudes, criticism, condemnation, all of the ways in which you are being unloving toward yourself. So he's going to move you from that place of, I don't have anything to offer, over here to the place where you are able to recognize and honor all that you are. And that will help you set those reasonable and realistic and reachable goals. If you are trying to set a goal from this place, I have so little to offer, but I need to do something, you're going to struggle and probably fail. If not fail, you'll at least get stagnant over here. You'll get stuck. But if you come from this no judgment, self loving place that Archangel Chamuel is going to help you reach, you'll be able to set goals that actually have meaning and value for you. And that's going to help you reach them. Now, how about Saint Germain? Saint Germain is the keeper of the violet flame. Saint Germain is an ascended master as opposed to an archangel, but he'll help you with purification. Now, please understand that purification doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. Purification means that you have chosen to hold on to ideas or attitudes or judgments or criticisms that are not loving, open, accepting, and are preventing you from getting where you want to go. So, purification is almost like taking a shower. It's allowing your energetic being to be washed clean of all of those lower negative thoughts, feelings, and vibrations that are holding you stuck and keeping you back from your goal. Purification is going to allow you to release the negative energy with ease, because anytime you do anything with the angelic realm, there is ease involved. The goal is in the divine realm. Your goal is always in the divine realm. Failure is in the negative, toxic realm. So if you are feeling badly about yourself, if you stirred up a whole lot of toxic energy because you have failed at a goal in the past, and now you're trying to go from there to your goal, it is a long, long journey. However, if you allow Archangel Chamuel to help you feel good about yourself, to help you see all the things that are right with you, and if you allow Saint Germain to help you through the purification process so you can release that negative energy, you will be in alignment with that goal that you have set for yourself. And anytime we're in alignment, we have an easier time of reaching our goal. The whole idea is to help you reach your goals with ease because you have chosen goals that are in alignment with your highest good. Now, if one of your goals was to really deepen your spiritual journey, to release yourself from past pain, abuse, or trauma, and you have been unsuccessful doing it on your own, then I have a special invitation for you. I invite you to join our Patreon community. And I'm putting that in the chat right now. Join the Patreon community as an archangel. I have a new group starting. The group counseling will give you access to all of the tools and the techniques. It will give you support. It will give you other people who are on the journey with you to provide you with motivation and support. And it will help you release those deep fears, those long held feelings of shame and blame. And right now, this group coaching is going to give you a lot for a very small investment. You're going to get deep insights, lots of support, and understand how to walk with the angelic, energetic realm and open yourself fully to the divine. So please go to that link that I put, join at the Archangel rate, and give yourself the best gift you could possibly give yourself. Give yourself the gift of healing your heart, and do it now while the rates are low and you can get into this newly opened group. So, thanks everyone for being here. I'm excited about seeing you in the group so that you can really open yourself to receiving even more and meet your goals. Oh, and one more thing. If this is something that really speaks to your heart, if you think that this counseling would really open you in a new way, but you are unable to meet the financial commitment, then I'm going to ask you to send me an email. And let me put my email address in the chat right now. Send me an email. It's Marcia at Marcia Barton, hearthealer.com. If you feel that you would benefit from this and you cannot make that financial obligation, you can't meet the financial obligation, this is your opportunity to send me an email. I have just created a nonprofit and we are in the process of securing funds. I'm going to encourage you to just get the help that you need, and I will gift this to you at no cost to you. If you can offer something, fabulous, because that helps me continue to offer this. If you are unable to offer anything, I guarantee you that after you have been in this group for a couple of months, even, you'll see that you are experiencing freedom, joy, love, peace. You're going to go from feeling lost and confused to feeling a sense of empowerment. And then you're going to see that your life is transforming, and then you are going to feel free. Let me share something that happened for one of the people in another one of my groups. And we've been meeting now with this group. We meet for 90 minutes, so you get a good quality of time. And Jeff, I'm so delighted. Jeff is going to be with us in this new group that's just forming. But something that happened in a group that I've been working with for a while, there was a young woman in that group who speaks multiple languages, is very talented, really an incredibly wonderful person, but was having a very difficult time getting a job that she loved. And she was doing this temporary job to pay the bills and to be just getting herself out there. And she happened to be at work one day. She had been saying, okay, I just can't stand it anymore. I gotta give up. I gotta give up. I can't do this job anymore. Angels, please help me. God, guide me. What should I do? And they kept saying to her, you know what? Not yet, not yet. Just don't give up. We want you to stay in this position for just a little bit longer, and you're going to see that it's worth it. So, she said, okay, I trust my guidance and I'm going to go in and do the best job that I can do. She happened to be working in a place where she serves beverages. And a gentleman came in, and she was kind and lovely and courteous, asked him how he would like his drink, noticed that he had a particular name, asked him where he was from, began speaking to him in the language of his country, and then from there They developed this incredible rapport. And after about 10 minutes of conversation, he said to her, "You know, I've been coming in here morning after morning, and this is the first time that I've met you. And this is the first time that somebody has asked me about myself, asked me about my preferences, spoken to me in my language. And I've just started a new company, expanding now here to your area, and I would like to offer you a job as my personal assistant." She went from a job that she thought she couldn't stand for another minute right into the job that perfectly aligns with her skill set. And she doesn't have to leave the town where she's living because the job came to her. If you are ready to receive that kind of guidance and that kind of support and direction in your life, please join us. Click on the Archangel tab. That will get you into the group counseling. But as I said, if you cannot afford that, please send me an email and we will work out something. It is important that you get this care if you are willing to put the work in. It will require from you a time commitment and an energy commitment. You're going to have to spend the time with me in the group. You're going to then have to practice what we are doing in order for you to really get a hold of it. And it will require a money contribution. So, if you're willing, this is the best gift I ever gave myself. And now I want to give it to all of you. So, sending you much love. I am so excited that I'll be seeing most of you in that Archangel new group that is being formed. And you too will be finding that your life is lived with such joy that all you have to do is show up, and the person that's got the job that you have been absolutely desiring will walk in and hand it to you. Until next time, everyone, I'm sending you all my love and thanks so much for being here.